everybody. It is Janet Metzger of the Network Marketers Den, and I want to welcome you to the podcast. I am really, really excited. You're going to hear from a gentleman that I spoke with a couple weeks ago, and wow, he has got so much to offer. So you're going to learn a little bit more from Melvin Veasle in just a little bit. But I will tell you, the best part about our business is, yes, people are earning money. Yes, people are changing their lives, but it's the people. It's the people. And we all have are part of the best industry that there is. So Melvin, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you, Coach Janet. Thank you for allowing me to be here on your podcast. I'm excited to come here.
I appreciate you reaching out to me, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. But let me tell you a little bit about Melvin. Melvin has 20 years of corporate sales background. While at his corporate job, he started in direct sales, and he was able to leave his corporate job in just after 2 years. That's amazing. So the pandemic, even where you live, and you're in Rhode Island, right, Melvin?
I'm in Rhode Island, correct.
Okay. Yes. During the pandemic, he started to explore how he could leverage internet marketing as a way to build his direct sales business. But that process led him to start his own full-time digital marketing business, where he helps traditional business owners grow their businesses through digital marketing, as well as working with network marketers and direct sellers. He helps them to identify potential business partners and customers for their products and services. But this is what blew me away. Holy smokes. I read this and I went, you're kidding me. Last year, in 2021, he booked over 1,100 personal Zoom meetings utilizing one of his strategies. That's a lot of Zoom meetings, Melvin. Holy smokes. Wow.
Yes, it was. It was a lot.
Yeah. I'm really excited to learn more about it. So again, you're in Rhode Island. And when we got to talk a couple of weeks ago, I learned that your wife's family is from my hometown here in Madison, Wisconsin. What a small world. What a small world.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess like attracts like, right? That's right. The way that it works. So tell us a little bit about your journey as a network marketer.
Yeah. So again, I appreciate you allowing me to share. So I'm actually, my background originally is I actually grew up in Detroit. So I'm originally from Detroit, and growing up, my mom was actively involved in like Avon and Mary Kay. So I can remember when I was younger, watching her, pack up the boxes and ship them in her car and drive them around to people. So I was exposed to network marketing then, and so when I went to college out in Wisconsin, like you mentioned before, at the University of Wisconsin La Crosse. And when I graduated, I started working for Enterprise Rent-A-Car right out of college. And when I left, I was in Wisconsin for a year. We moved to Baltimore. So in Baltimore, that's when I was first exposed to a company called ACN. Again, that was like 20-some years ago, right? And the company was only 5 years old. And I got involved then. I was still working at Enterprise, and I did okay, but my corporate career was taking off. And so I really didn't put the time, energy, and effort into it. So I just kind of let it go. And then later on, years later, I moved to Rhode Island, and I was still with Enterprise. And then ACN came back around to me again. And again, for me, Coach Jen, I thought I was going to retire from Enterprise. I really did. But situations change. In the corporate world, things change, and pay situations where they kind of want to cap my pay. And I don't like caps because all the cap tells me what I'm not able to make, right? And I love it, yeah. And so the ideal of ACN became real to me at that particular point in time. So after, I kind of, dipped my toe into the water, when they started talking about capping my pay, that's when I really dove into ACN. And because I had a pretty good corporate reputation, and we were always taught, go after what are called A players, right? So go after business owners, go after professionals, go after folks who are already involved in network marketing. Because I was surrounded by those individuals, I was able to leverage my, my contacts and and do well enough to where I was able to leave enterprise, after doing it for a couple of years.
Wow. Wow. You know what's interesting and not a surprise, but I did not know that you were with them and then you kind of slow down and then you come back. So much of it is timing, and to hear that corporate, because it happens a lot. Oh my gosh. I talked to so many people where they cap their earnings. Sometimes it's just that little thing. So there's a lot of people that are out there. So what a great journey. So 2 years, and you were able to quit that corporate job. And Enterprise is a phenomenal company, and they really spend a lot of time training and developing their people. But what did you do? What if you had to say one or two things that you did that allowed you to quit that corporate job after only 2 years? What would it be?
So there's a couple of things. So one of the things I learned, and one of my mentors said this, he said, and this can apply to any company. He said, there are two decisions you make, whether it be network marketing or whatever the case may be. The first one is you decide to do network marketing. Okay, that's the first decision. So the second decision is that you decide to actually do it. And it was interesting because I made really good money, at Enterprise. And I tried to trick my mind to saying, hey, Melvin, if you don't go out there, if you don't recruit, if you don't gather customers, you're not going to eat. I tried to do that. However, when you have, this income coming in and you're comfortable, it just doesn't work. And so I think that the decision had to be made inside of my mind that I no longer wanted to be in that environment. If I want to get out of that environment, I need to do something about it. So that second decision was really critical. And the other thing is, it's also about leadership, right? I was fortunate enough to where the second time around, again, because of what I had done in the corporate world, I had some really good leaders that kind of were put their arms around me. I had some folks that actually moved from where they were to come to Rhode Island and to really lock arms with me and show me how to really build a business. And so I was just very fortunate. And so what I really did is just leverage my contacts, and I put my leaders to work. In my mind, I wasn't working for them. I positioned to where they were working for me. And my job was just to put people in front of them and to let them do what they're good at. And so that's really what I did. And again, I really utilized my network. But there were some issues that I saw with that, right? A lot of folks, I think, get involved in network marketing, and they tell you to, start with your warm market, make a list of 100 names, right? But the problem, and that's great, to get started. But the problem is that, well, what happens when you get outside or you go through that 100 list, right? What do you do now? What do you do then? Well, talk to more people. Well, who do I talk to? Or talk to people at the grocery, talk to people at the gas station. And no one really wants, to do that, right? And so for me, when this whole pandemic hit, I'll never forget we were down in Hilton Head, South Carolina. We were on vacation for 7 weeks down there. And I said, okay, everyone is being forced to learn how to use this Zoom technology.
Right.
So how can I utilize this Zoom technology to build my direct sales business? Because I didn't want to I didn't want to sell to people that I knew anymore, right? And I would sometimes talk to family members or friends, and I looked at them as if they had dollar signs on their head, right? I don't like that feeling. So I said, I need to be able to figure out how to use this technology. And so for me, I spent, and I know you asked me like how did I leave the corp? I'm getting more into kind of how I got to where I'm at right now with the agency. So for me, I spent a lot of time just researching internet marketers and what they're doing. Right? Sure. And the more I started to research, the more I realized that you have people where all they do is press a button. And because they have systems in place, people actually go to their website and buy a lot of their stuff.
Right.
And so I said, I want to become one of those people. So at the time, I spent a lot of money on coaches and mentors, and I bought programs. And if I didn't like the programs, I refunded the programs. So, I went through the whole process. But as I was going through that, what I realized is I was actually teaching myself a new skill. And if I got really good at helping people generate leads and customers, folks would pay me for it. So that's what prompted me to start my own digital marketing agency. But I never lost sight of network marketing and the dream that it oftentimes would offer people. And it really bothered me that you can have these great opportunities out there and people can get excited about it. But once they went through their initial warm market, they didn't know how to really take it to the next level unless they were fortunate, to have some leaders like I had.
Right. And not everybody does. Most people don't. I mean, that's a great point. I love how you said you make a decision, because you have to decide. And, I will often say it's called network marketing. You do have to put the work into it. But I love that you really looked at it from here's the problem, I'm going to find my own solution. And you're absolutely right. You do have to start with that warm list. I'm one of those weird people that I would rather talk to somebody I don't know than somebody I do know. I mean, eventually I get to know them, but I agree 100%. So you develop something that allowed you to reach more people, is what I'm hearing you say. And it was the digital world.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot, in the digital world, about how to use Facebook and Facebook ads and Google ads and SEO and social media marketing, how to help traditional business owners kind of grow their business. But I also want to figure out, well, how can I help people? Because a lot of people don't have the budgets to spend that type of money, right, on the traditional business. Yeah. So I said, how can I help traditional business owners build their business without using paid ads? And that took me down the path of studying different softwares and different automations.
Okay.
So LinkedIn has been probably my number one source, or at least top three in terms of bringing people into my world. Okay. And so I've been doing that for traditional business owners. I was like, the same skill set will apply to network marketers. Right. And so, so I've been utilizing LinkedIn, Facebook, different strategies on that in order to basically get people to raise their hand, to say, yes, I want to talk to you. I say this all the time. To me, all marketing is identifying who it is you want to target. Yeah. Figure out where do people congregate, like where they hang out. And then how do I drop an intriguing message in front of that person to get them to raise their hand and say, yes, I want to talk to you about your thing. Right. Because it all starts with the conversation. I mean, that's how you reached out to me on LinkedIn, and that's how we connected. And I'm open to connect with people, but not with everybody. And we'll tell a little bit more about why I said, sure, I'll talk to you. But great. So you found LinkedIn works really well for you. I like LinkedIn as well. It just, and I do like Facebook, and those are kind of my two main ones. But tell us a little bit. Do you want to share your screen? Because you shared with me a couple of things that you have done, and this is with or without software. This is what people can do to find those, other than the 100 people that they know, their to-do list, who they can talk to. Yeah, sure. Great. I'd love to. So again, I'll share a couple strategies with you that a lot of people aren't aware of. So, and again, I just like to put myself. I'm putting on my glasses so I can see this. I love it. Okay, so if you go to LinkedIn, this is my LinkedIn page. Again, this is utilizing the free version of LinkedIn. Okay, you can do this using the free version. You can use it using Sales Navigator, which is the paid version. There are some advantages, but you don't have to have the paid version in order to do that. Okay. So if I go to LinkedIn, and let's say I'm trying to target people looking for opportunities. If I type that into the search field, and I click on people, it will actually show over 400,000 people that have looking for new opportunities inside of their profile.
Whoa.
Now, and for most network marketing companies, it doesn't matter where people are, right? So these are people all over, the country. You can also search in other countries. So the people are out there. Then what I typically do is I'll filter by folks who are not connected to me. So second and third degree connections.
Okay.
And I'll narrow it down. If I want to focus on a particular area, I can do that. Okay. And then once I kind of narrow it down, I just hit show results. I just did the greater Boston area, just as this example.
Sure.
I had 6,400 people that popped up. Okay. Now, obviously with 6,400 people, it would take you a long time to reach out to these folks one by one by one.
Oh my gosh, it'd take forever.
Right. And so what I've done is I've created software that will automatically send a personalized message. If you sat there, looked at their profile and typed it up, again, just to see if they're interested in talking to you about your thing. And so I basically automated that process. And so what ends up happening, if I go to my messages, I was going to show the messages I reached out to you on, but when I go to my message, you can see that it's what 1040, 1039, you can see that my software is constantly reaching out to people. You can kind of see the responses. All I'm doing is I'm waiting for people who I reached out to say, yes, Melvin, I would love to have a conversation with you. And then I end up having conversations with those folks where I will get them off of the LinkedIn platform onto a Zoom call to see how we may be able to help each other.
Okay. Okay. So that's what you did to me. But Melvin, I told you, I'm going to play not necessarily devil's advocate, but what I have experienced. I get a lot of messages and they feel ungenuine, if that is a word, not genuine. What's different? What's different? Because would you agree that it's important that people know that this is a guy that's talking to me, that it's somebody, it's not just a computer?
Correct. So one of the things that's really important, I think this is really what separates MVP marketing results and the strategies that we utilize, is we make our message very authentic.
Okay.
And the advantage that I have is I've worked with dozens of clients on this and various different industries. And so I get to see everything that's going on, right? So I get to see what's working, what's not working. And sometimes the problem is that we create these very generic robotic type messages. And I'll just show you the one that I sent you.
Okay.
And it's important that we're not being spammy. Like, I'm not spamming people. I am genuinely reaching out because I believe I have something that can help that person. And I try to communicate that within my message. So here's the message I sent to you. And I probably should I'll explain how we got here.
Okay.
But basically, you and I are part of the same group. So what I've done is I've gone in and I've joined different network marketing groups on LinkedIn.
Okay.
There's a reason why I do that, because part of the strategy is that, you want to, I know I can help MLM or network marketers. So where do I find network marketers in network marketing groups? So I intentionally join those groups. Now, once I join, I send a note that says, "Hi, Janet. I see we are both members of the MLM Professionals Worldwide group. So I'm letting you know how I know you up front."
Right.
Then I give you a brief story. I'm a former network marketer. Today I own a marketing agency, and I love working with other network marketers to help them acquire customers or recruit new business partners. That's true. That's what I love doing. That's why I reached out.
Right.
So I would love to set up a Zoom call to learn more about your business, which is true, and see if we could help each other, which is true. And then the key question is that, are you open to that? So I'm simply asking, hey, I just sent you this message. Are you open to it? And the people who are open to it, they will respond. The people who are not open to it, they won't respond. They'll just ignore the message. the process is that, again, I'm just interested in speaking with people that are interested in speaking with me. And then I also provide them with my booking link. And that's how I do it. It's a very simple process.
Right. So this can be done Facebook, but I agree. I love that you join the other groups. I mean, that's, so it all starts with number one, you have to know your target audience, which obviously you do. And I know a lot of network marketers believe that it's anybody and everybody, but you can see that you do have to narrow it down, and joining those groups is really important. So when, so somebody sends this you send this out to them, they either respond yes or no, or don't respond. What happens? What's the process? If somebody says no, it's thank you, basically. Is that how you approach it?
Honestly, if someone says no, I just keep on moving. I don't even respond, because they tell me that they're not interested. So it doesn't make sense for me to, send them another message. They told me that they're not interested, which is fine. Which is why I tried. It depends, but which is why I try to be very clear up front about in my message in terms of who I am, what I do, and why it is I would love to have a conversation with you.
Okay. So, and if somebody says yes, then they just book a call with you.
Correct. Someone says yes, I put my link in there, and they book a call.
Okay.
And then I get it, because I don't like try and sell through like LinkedIn, right?
Right.
It's almost like one of the things that I've seen happen a lot of times when I work with other network marketers. A lot of times the messaging is good and you'll get traction, but then you try and send the person to a funnel or to watch a video. Mm-hmm. And in my experience in doing this, what I find is most effective is people, they're not buying the opportunity. They're buying the person to introduce them to the opportunity. So they want to know, hey, can Coach Janet take me to where I want to go?
Yeah.
So in my opinion, it's important that you get them off the LinkedIn platform onto a Zoom call or a coffee meeting, whatever your process is to have that space. So now they become comfortable with you, and then you can send them your video, whatever it is, kind of build that likability and trust.
Right. What I love, Melvin, is that you're talking about getting people interested, because you're looking for people that are looking, and that's what Randy Gage always says. You're looking for people that are looking, so they're pre-qualifying themselves. But what I like the best is that you actually have a live conversation with those people.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Because
without the conversation, it doesn't do any good. So, wow. So that's really exciting. I love that, because that is, I will tell you, that's one of the things I hear from a lot of my clients. How do I find new people? So it's a software. How much time does something like that take? Because you hear it all the time. I don't have any time. I'm so busy. I'm so this, it doesn't matter what company it is. You hear that all the time. How much time does it take someone to use the software?
Yeah, I'll give a quick demo.
Okay.
I'll just show you how easy it is. I'm going to share my screen again. So going back to the example that I shared when we had people who were looking for opportunities.
Right.
So once I have my search filtered down, all I do is I take this link, I copy it.
Okay.
I go into my software, and then I do a campaign. And this is a group campaign. There's different campaigns that you can do. I don't want to confuse people, but I'm just going to show you the basics of it. If you want more information, I'll be more than happy to jump in the call. I'm going to do a simple LinkedIn group connection. So I click on that, and I take that link, and I basically just paste the link. I paste the link. I didn't grab the right one. Hold on. Hold on. have so many tabs open.
I hear you.
So I take this link. Oh, I know why I'm not in the group. I'm in Connect. So let me go back here. So let's not do a group. Let's do a Connect message. So I take the URL. I paste it here. If it looks good, you get your green check. Then I hit next. And then I do a Connect message.
Okay.
And this is where you basically just create your message that you want to send. So that message I sent you, I would actually just type that message in here. And we have different placeholders where when I say hi, it'll put first name, last name.
Sure.
Your company. So you're able to do that. And then that's my first message. And then I can do follow-up messages.
Okay. So it's automatic.
Correct.
Got it.
So I go through and I set my message. Then once I have my message, so it really takes like the bulk of the time comes in and figuring out the message. So once you have it set up, you can kind of customize when you want to follow up with the person. So normally when someone connects with me, I'll automatically send a follow-up message 1 hour after they connect with me. So the system will automatically, you're on mute, Coach Janet.
It's not like you're stalking them, like you're waiting for that to come.
Right, yeah, so it automatically does it. So the minute someone accepts my invite, an hour later, it will say, hey, thanks for connecting with me. And then whatever message I want to put in there, it will do that. Now, if the person responds, then if they actually physically type a message to me, the automation stops because the system has no way of knowing the person is saying, yes, I'm interested, or no, stop bothering me. So the minute someone actually types a message to you, it forces me to actually jump in there and to respond. And
so it really is literally you there. Okay,
correct,
got it.
If they don't respond, then I can also, again, create additional follow-up messages, typically 3 days after that. I can do another follow-up message, 4 days after, 3 or 4 days after that. Again, there are some other, things.
A lot of tools. Yeah.
But once you do that, you then will name your campaign. You can then set the time. I typically run mine 7 days a week. You verify the messaging. Then you hit start campaign and it starts to reach out to people. And now all you're really doing, again, from a timing standpoint, the software is doing most of the heavy lifting. Your time is spent replying to the people. And really, it only takes like 10 to 15 minutes a day, depending upon how many people respond to you. So if you just come in every morning and just follow up on the people that reached out to you, you can really very easily systematize this process where it doesn't take a lot of time.
Sure. Well, Melvin, I do work with my LinkedIn, and I do know, my as I work with my coach and stuff, it's 2 hours a day, and quite honestly, I don't want to spend 2 hours a day on social media. So, it sounds like the time that you're going to have to spend 15 minutes a day. My course is about how to grow your business in 15 minutes a day, and it's with conversations, but you're bringing the people in with the conversations. Right. So in terms of the messaging, so if somebody doesn't have the software and they're doing it, can you just go over once again what's important that is included in that messaging? Because people will be writing, whether they have the software or not, they have to write their own message, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if I remember right, you said you remind people of how you connect with them, how you know them, right?
Correct.
And then the next thing was?
So again, if I go back and I just kind of break down, the message that I sent you.
Yep.
So I let people know how I know them.
Yeah.
Or if we're doing the people looking for opportunities, I would send a message revolving around, hey, Coach Shannon, I noticed that you're still looking for opportunities. Is that true? Because I always want to end with a question because I'm trying to get them to respond to me. Right. And then you may say yes, you may say no, you may ignore the message. So if you say yes, or if you connect with me, that's when I'll then jump in and say something like, hey, thanks for connecting with me. And I just briefly state, here is what I do, or Are you open to network marketing, or are you open to an opportunity? Like whatever your pitch is to get people's attention, right? You would state that.
Right.
And then
Okay.
And then it's based upon the person's response. So
Sure.
again, it's very conversational. It's not a robot. It's just, you're just having a regular conversation with someone that's potentially open to opportunities. And hey, if you open to opportunities, are you open to a network marketing opportunity? Are you open to whatever it is that you're offering? Are you open to this type of opportunity? If so, let's jump on a call and have a conversation. So I like to keep things very basic and very simple. And that's really the thought process behind this.
It's perfect. It's perfect. You know, to me, it's the hybrid model. It's using digital marketing, yet it's still that personalization of what you do. It didn't feel like a bot, because I don't do bots. When people send me bot stuff, I totally ignore it. So, and then the second thing is that your expectation is actually having a live conversation. And the other thing that I so appreciated what you said, Melvin, is that you're not there to close the sale for people. That's where they've got to work with their uplines and really finesse it in it. And that does take practice. Take practice. So good. One other thing I wanted to ask you, and this was not one of the questions that because I had prepped some questions for you, but I'm curious, any words of advice for folks that want to target everybody? What is it? How did you determine who you were going to work with, or how do you narrow it down? Because I mean, when I just saw people opened opportunities and there were almost 500,000 people, I mean, come on. How do you narrow it?
Yeah. So LinkedIn has filters where you can do that. Okay. So so I'm working with a couple folks in the health and fitness space.
Okay.
Right? So within LinkedIn, there are different filters that you can actually go to. And so when you go to people looking for opportunities, I guess I should probably share. Should I share my screen and kind of show it visually?
Sure.
Okay, let me go back and share again. People looking for opportunities. Let me share again.
So if you're listening, you guys need to jump on YouTube, because you'll see this on YouTube. And it'll be in the show notes for them. So, okay.
So again, people looking for opportunities, 437,000 results. And again, you never want to target everybody. You know, I ask folks all the time, who are you looking to target? And they say, well, my program works everyone. Well, that's not good. You need to narrow it down. Okay, so I go to my second, third degree connections. And then within here, you have different industries.
Right, okay.
I want to target people in, I believe, health, wellness, and fitness. I can do that here. So now I know that the people who I'm looking for opportunities, they have health, wellness, and fitness somewhere in their profile. And so now there's 7,800 people that comes up. So if I have a health type product, I'm going to reach out to these folks first.
Makes sense. So use the tools that are there, but 7,800, you'd be 100 years old before you could get to that if you do it manually. But it is a process that you can do manually, but I can see it would save a ton of time.
Correct.
And more people. So, well, Melvin, this is it's phenomenal. The tool that you've developed and to be able to use it yourself, and your numbers really, really speak loudly and clearly. But for a network marketer, like you said, you gotta get out of your comfort zone. It's not going to take the place of you talking to people, but at the same time, you've got more people to talk to. And we all know that the more we do it, the better we get, and the more you practice, right? Absolutely. So I'm curious, Melvin. Yeah. What do you like to do when you're not working?
Well, I have two daughters now, and one's a junior in college, and others a junior in high school. And so I used to love to spend time with my family, coaching, doing things like that. But that's not cool anymore, right? They got to the point where
not at that age. Anymore.
So actually, when I'm done here, I have 3 more calls after I'm done with you. And then we're taking a guy's trip, a fella's trip, and we're going to Portugal.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we're going to go there for a week. So, I really do enjoy, traveling. This will be my first trip I've taken like without anyone in my family, without my wife, without, extended family members. So I'm really, looking forward to that. But really, I'm a family guy. So I try and exercise and work out. I have a brand new 9-month-old grandson now as well.
Oh, wow.
So he's been spending a lot of time here, at the house as well. So spending time with family, traveling, and then helping people. Like this really is fun to me. Like what I do, it really is fun because I feel like I really am helping, whether it be business owners, whether it be network marketers, I'm helping them to get closer to their goals, whatever those goals may be. And it's super rewarding when someone says, hey, Melvin, thank you so much for helping me. It really made a big difference. And I don't think you can really put a price on that.
Sure.
So those are things I like.
Oh, absolutely. Well, thanks for sharing that. You've got a great work-life balance, and because you've got the software to be able to do it, you have the best of both worlds. So that's really, really great. Now, you have an offer for our listeners if they want to learn more about your company. You want to just share that with them? And this will be in our show notes, by the way, everybody. So
yeah, so really the best thing to do is to go to, if you're interested in having a conversation, so I can kind of personalize things for you, just go to book.mvpmarketingresults.com. It'll bring up my calendar, and feel free to book a 15 or a half an hour or a 30-minute call with me. And I'll be more than willing to take time out and see what would be the best plan for you and your organization.
Sure. So and we have that link right in the show notes, so you can click right on that and book a call. But the other thing, Melvin, that I noticed that I really do like is that you do have a month to month, so people can give it a shot and try it out and see how everything goes. So, but a strategy session, by all means, because you've got I've talked with other folks that have software, but they don't have the experience in network marketing themselves. So you're really, firsthand, if you will. So it's great. It's great. It's, I always say that, everybody's got the same 24 hours. It's all how you use it. And to be able to, this is truly leveraging your time. But at the end of the day, you still got to have that conversation. And that's what I love, is that you're willing to do that in 1,100 Zoom meetings. You must be zoomed out. Holy smokes. That's a lot. But I think it's all how you look at it, because I have met so many people through Zoom that I feel like I know them. And I've never met them in person. I can't wait to meet them in person, but well, Melvin, thank you so much for sharing your insight and what you offer, and really and truly being a support to this great industry. So I want to thank our listeners, and I want to thank you, especially Melvin, for taking the time out. But you're in the best industry in the world, and you can take my course. There's a 15-minute course, how to grow your business in 15 minutes a day. This goes hand in hand with it. So imagine in 15 minutes a day, reaching out to that many people, and just, this is truly making money while you sleep. That's what I love about it. So thanks to our listeners. Check out Melvin's website. Click on the link. He's got a lot of great information. And here's to you achieving all your goals and dreams in the best industry that there is. This is Janet Metzger, along with our special guest, Melvin Veasle of the Network Marketers Den. Take care, everyone, and we will talk with you soon. Bye now.